Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and let me just say, I'm super excited about this craft. Oh my gosh. And I'll tell you all about it. But we're going to be making something that looks like this. These are wood slices that you can get at any craft store. Shoot, you could go cut down a tree and make your own even if you want. And you could use absolutely whatever size you might want. I picked up some of these bigger ones at a thrift store, and I've seen them at craft stores. So this is where we're headed, and these are oyster shells. They are a certain kind, which I don't know what it's specifically called, but I'll give you the description. And let me show you what I used, and then we'll jump right in. Okay, so I painted my wood round with this. It's Waverly paint in a beautiful color called Night Sky, and that's kind of the look I was going for. I didn't use white on this project, but I did use white on another project I'll probably show you tomorrow or the next day. And then I used a little bit of this gold. You can use any gold paint that you have. I also used some of this. This is glittering white chalk paste. And that might seem a little bit weird to use this product on this project. But if you notice, my little oyster shells look almost opalescent, and that is what this does. And then you can use hot glue or E6000, whatever you prefer. Okay, so let's hop right in. I did do a couple of projects last May of 2024, using this same idea. This was one little shelf sitter that I made. Isn't it cute? I'm trying to get that video so I can replay it for you. This was another piece that I made, and I just felt like doing something just a little bit different this time. So let's start with the, we're going to do this right here. Let's start with the, actually I think we're going to do this one right here. Let me start with the oyster shells. Okay, these are kind of flat, and they are thinner than your traditional oyster shell that looks like this. And the reason why I'm choosing these thinner, flatter ones is because they work better for this kind of a project. All of my oyster shells have come from Amazon. When you order them on Amazon, they come clean, prepped, and everything. No smell, nothing. And I will look to see if I can figure out what these are called. But anyways, for this project, you want the thinner ones. And also when they come, they're not super pretty. To make them pretty, you got to make them kind of opalescent. So let's do that first. Okay. So I am basically going to wipe these off. This is so easy, and you could do this project on a ton of different surfaces. It doesn't have to be, it does not have to be a wood slice. I just thought that I would like that combination, and I do. I'll just drop these off here real quick. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and I'm taking some of this glittering white chalk paste from magnoliadiy.com. It just takes a little bit. And I'm basically going to paint that on here. And can you see already how much better it looks? So let's do all three of these. This little one that I'm using to represent, this is Joseph, Mary, and Jesus is what it's going to represent. So the little shell that I used was really not pretty at all, but it was the right size. So I painted the inside of it with the white paint that I just showed you a minute ago. And I'm going to make our little Jesus be opalescent too. You can put on one coat. You could put on more than one coat. That is totally up to you. Okay. So they're going to take just a little bit to dry, and then we'll move on to the next step with them. So let's take this little wood round, and I am just going to, hopefully I can get this open, yes. This is called Night Sky. I really haven't worked very much with this color, but it is lovely. I'm really liking it. So let me get a brush. Let's use this one. This will work just fine. And I just did one coat basically on the other one. Depending on what color you opt to use, you may need to do more than one coat. This will dry pretty quickly. And we're even going to do some little gold, like stars in the sky. I'll show you my little trick for that. So as you are hopping on, let me know that you're here. Let me know that I'm not standing in my craft room talking to myself about ornaments made with oyster shells. This could also just be put on a little easel like this. I would probably paint it the night sky color too. And I would probably glue the wood round to it so it doesn't tip over or fall off. But you could do it like that, and it could be like a little shelf setter and not necessarily an ornament. Also, I will have to either glue something to the back of these or dig out a drill and drill a hole to be able to hang them. Okay. And sometimes ornaments get flipped around, so I will, off camera, I will do the other side of this ornament as well, like I have done with this one. It's got glue strings on it. Okay, so I'm going to use my hot, what is this called? Heat gun from magnoliadiy.com to dry this. So it's mostly dry. And these are mostly dry too. Okay, the next step is the gold. And I am just going to squeeze a little bit of gold out on some of these. Have you ever used these? They're kind of cool. They're little 6x6 parchment square papers from Dollar Tree. You get 60 pieces for $1.25. And they're great to work on and work with. All right, and my little scene here is going to have a gold star at the top, so we'll paint that as well. I just had these little teeny wood pieces, but you could also use something like this. Whoops, like this one from Dollar Tree, if you want it. Okay, let's get a brush. I'm looking for my, oh, it's right here. Okay, so I'm just using a stiff little brush to paint this. And I'll let that dry. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do edging around my oyster shell pieces that have the glittering white chalk paste on them. So they're kind of opalescent now. And what they're going to end up looking like is this, which I think adds a lot. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I really do think it adds a lot. And it absolutely does not have to be perfect, which is good. Okay, let me just crank this out and then we'll do the other ones. And then we'll do the little stars in the sky. So this project came about because I am going to be having my daughter-in-law, her mother, her sweet mother, Monica, over this weekend to do some crafting and just to have some time together before Christmas. And I wanted to do a project that I think will be meaningful. She's a Christ follower also. And this is different, I think. And I think that she'll like it. We're also going to be making some little trinket dishes using this type of a oyster, which I painted the inside. But we'll be decoupaging some pretty napkins on the inside of that. Okay. See how easy that was? Let's do Jesus next. This little tiny shell is going to represent Jesus. Okay, that is Jesus. Let me fix him up where I flipped him over and bumped his gold paint. Okay. And then this taller one is going to be Joseph. And I'll show you my little trick in just a second for how I did the stars. You could leave your wood rounds natural, or you could stain them, or you could really paint them any color you wanted. I was just going for this nativity look that looks like it's at nighttime. And that is why I opted to do mine this way with these colors. So anyways, I've been fiddling and fiddling and fiddling around with this idea to get ready to have Monica come over for a crafting night with me. And so I just decided that since I was doing that I would show you. Okay. Good. All right, so these are going to take a second to dry. Let me grab my little heating gun. So like I said just a few minutes ago, I usually purchase my oyster shells on Amazon because they come already washed and ready to go. But I have heard several of you have told me that if you're eating oysters at a restaurant, you can ask the wait person for a little bag to take your shells home. And somebody told me that they just put them in the top of their dishwasher and run the dishwasher on high, and that seems to take all the smell out of them and remove all the, oh, I don't know, the gunky stuff that's on the inside of oyster shells. I have not tried that, but that is what I've heard, so I just thought I would pass that idea along to you. Okay, so next up we're going to create the little stars, and we're going to glue our little star on the top. I might give that just a little bit more paint later. Okay, so this is my my fix. This is one of these little I don't know, embossing tools that you can get at Dollar Tree. And I am just going to poke it into my paint and randomly do a whole bunch of dots. Some of them will be covered up. By the oysters, and I will probably add some after I get my oyster shells on. And if you don't like this step, obviously you don't have to. I know somebody's going to say that this looks like snow, but that's why I opted to do it in gold. It could be done with silver paint too. So it's not looking like snow, because obviously when Jesus was born, I don't think that there was snow. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Ooh, and lots of glue strings. All right, let's dry this up. what I am thinking is this one has got something weird on the back of it, so I'll definitely paint it. But I'm thinking that I'll probably just glue some kind of a little thin gold ribbon on the back to be the hanger. And I'm going to put these on my Christmas tree. Okay, let me see. Are they even remotely dry? No, they're not. All right, and I wanted to point out while we're here that if you don't have wood slices, you could do the whole thing on a wood, a piece of wood, like this. This is, I don't know if this was Dollar Tree, Dollar General or something. You could even do a shape that isn't round and cover up the bottom. This was a bell. So you don't have to have the wood slices if you don't have them. Okay, that's reasonably dry. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this straw. I don't know what this stuff is called. It was packaging material in something that I ordered. And I never throw anything away that could be crafted with. Are you like me? So I'm going to just glue this on and then we'll trim it up. And I'm using a low temperature hot gluing gun in case you are wondering. Don't use a high one and then put your fingers in it. Okay, so let's trim this up just a little bit. What do you guys think? Do a this or a this? It's a heart. If you like this idea. Okay. And then I'm just going to fiddle around with my Mary and Joseph. And they could be scooched down a little bit and hang off the bottom. That works. We are having the weirdest storms here in Georgia today. It is raining and gray and foggy, and it's also thundering, which is, I think, is kind of unusual. Okay, so here's where we are so far. And then this is just going to represent little baby Jesus. And I'm going to figure out how I want to put him on here. Just like that. So if you were worried about the glue holding up, you could use some E6000, but I'm not super worried about it. Let's see, do we need to add any little stars? Yeah, let's add a few little stars that I didn't get. And there we go. What do you guys think? Isn't that precious? Oh my gosh. So, if you missed the start of this video, I was showing you that back in May, I made this little shelf sitter using these little pieces of oyster shells. And then this is a real starfish that I just painted the tips of it gold to represent the star that they saw. And then this was the other piece that I made back then. I used bigger oyster shells, but they're still the flat, long kind. And my plan is to do these. I have 2 of these all set to go, and we'll make these when Monica comes over to craft with me. So tell me what you think. Feel free to sprinkle, especially if you like this idea. Don't hesitate to ask questions. If you want my supply list, like you want to be able to remember what color is this paint, it's Night Sky by Waverly. You can get this at Walmart. I'll do a list. I'll make a list that has the supplies, and you can just say list or what color paint is that, or anything that you need information about. Hope that you have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Hope you liked this project. I really did. I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, and I'm also going to figure out where did I get these flat oyster shells. I'm pretty sure I ordered these on Amazon, and I'll see if I can find that information. Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for joining.